LoreWarrior Online. FLE-4 Flea. Overview. The Free Worlds League wanted a light scout unit for its new battle mech force. The prototypes of the trooper hit the test fields in 2475. The design was filled with so many flaws, however, that it didn't pass a field combat test until the 26th century. Rather than assign soldiers to a design with over 25 years of bad press associated with its name, the Free Worlds League renamed it the Flea. During the early succession wars, the inexpensive Flea was easy to mass produce, but losses were too great for the great houses to tolerate, and the line was switched to produce heavier designs, until the arrival of Wolf's Dragoons. Capabilities. The Flea's design is focused on speed and firepower. At just under 100 km per hour, it could keep up with most scout units of the late succession wars, and the Martel large laser can outrange most of their weapons. For close combat, the Flea also has a pair of small lasers, and a rear-mounted flamer can be useful for setting fires. Its placement, however, has led to more than one derisive comment. If the weaponry of the Flea isn't enough to scare the opposition, the Flea's pilot can use its speed to avoid being hit. With a meagre 2 tons of armour, half that of the Locust, there is little room for error. A mere medium laser will and can punch through most of its armour, and a large laser will easily shear off a limb. Deployment. Outside of the Free Worlds League, the Flea virtually vanished until the Dragoons appeared with a half dozen of the design. Earthworks reopened the Flea line to provide parts and occasionally new mechs for the Dragoons under an exclusive contract. After the devastation of the Fourth Succession War, the Dragoons were down to a pair of Fleas, and ordered many more to help rebuild their battered regiments. Earthworks opened 2 new Flea lines on Assumption and Bernardo to keep up with the demand. A demonstration of the Flea's abilities occurred slightly before the birth of the Star League, in the waning days of the Age of War. In the late 26th century, a pair of 3rd Marek militia Fleas were covering a pair of Hunchbacks. A trio of commandos managed to maneuver behind the Hunchbacks, and so intent were they on getting a shot at the large mech's vulnerable rears, the Steiner pilots ignored the lighter Fleas. While one Hunchback exploded after the first salvo from the commandos, one of their own went down with a missing leg from the combined fire from the Fleas. The 2 remaining commandos couldn't outrun the Fleas, but their mobility was adequate to avoid the Hunchback's cannon. By using the Hunchback to herd the commandos, the Fleas predicted the Lyran mech's moves, and eventually cut them down. Variants. Until the 3040s, the only significant variant was the FLE-15. This drops the large laser for a ton more armour and increased weaponry. The arm lasers are moved to cover the rear, while the flamer is moved to the front of the mech. The arms carry a machine gun and medium laser each, while a full ton of ammo allows plenty of endurance for the Flea. Notable Mek Warriors. Mechwarrior Roy Roma. A member of Wolf's Dragoons' special recon group, Roy doesn't see a lot of combat, and that is why he likes it. Piloting an FLE-15, he uses the flamer and machine guns far more than his lasers, creating disruption in the enemy's rear. However, Roy's ability to sneak around with a 20-ton machine allows his fellow warriors to know where the enemy is. As the Dragoons have rebuilt themselves after the Fourth Succession War, the SRG has been attached to the Home Guard, but Roy is itching to return to the field. This has led to him practicing with mercenary units on outreach whenever possible, and celebrating with them far too much. Mechwarrior Phoenix Marek Steiner. If Phoenix is to be believed, which few do, he is the progeny of an alleged tryst between Janos Marek and Katrina Steiner that occurred in 3001. Everything with him is epic, from his hour-long battle with a Stinger that was the key mech in a company about to single-handedly destroy Hassad, to fighting off what appeared to be the flu, but supposedly was the Mia Placidus plague. The 2nd Marek militia would just as soon be rid of him if he weren't a halfway decent scout, and the 2nd needs every good pilot they can get.